Okay, Prather Coliseum about empty now, but it was raucous about 30 minutes ago as Northwestern State eliminates number 1 seed Stephen F. Austin. All the sets decided by 2 points today as the Demons punch their ticket to the championship in a rematch with Central Arkansas. Hugh Hernesman, one of the things I said to you off camera is I thought that the defense was particularly strong today. That's been your MO all season long. At one point, I looked down and SFA was hitting exactly 120, and you were hitting exactly 170. I think those are the two numbers we talked about a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it's how we play. And, we talked about it yesterday, and those are the types of matches that we can win. We're not gonna win a match where we're both hitting 250s, 300, somewhere in there. We just don't have that kind of offensive firepower. But we have a defensive system that can do that to even great offensive teams. SFA had such a great year, and it's difficult. We sit here and we watch them trickle out, and it's hard because you grow attached to other teams' players, and they're good kids and they're great talents, and so we had to play a near perfect match to beat such a good team, and it worked in our favor today.
I asked Mackenzie Neely this on audio about adjustments that when you came to our place, SFA was fortunate to win. We were going through sweeping people at that point. Here we won in 4, but it's tough to beat anybody 3 times. And I asked her about adjustments, and she said there weren't many major adjustments. It was just a matter of executing your game plan. Would you say that'd be true?
Yeah, it's the same way it was yesterday for Sam Houston. Is we really believe in what we do in terms of our scouting and our system. So I think that if you change too many things, you get away from who you are. And I think you can always make 2 or 3 adjustments, minor tweaks to individual players. But really for us, it was having faith in what we do and executing it just a little bit better. And I thought that today the difference really was we were just a little bit better on the offensive end than we had been in the previous 2 matches. So it was a fun match, obviously, for us.
When we first talked at the beginning of the year, Katie O'Connell was sort of getting started at the beginning of this year. Took her a few matches to sort of get her feet back under her, but today she swung very good, 14 kills. Talk a little bit about her progression. She was such a big player for you as a freshman, and then what do you think it took this year to sort of turn that switch in her and get her back to the Katie O'Connell that we're used to seeing in Northwestern Demon Purple?
I think for Katie, to see this match today, and even yesterday she played so well, sometimes she just needs to get in a rhythm, and I think a lot of the things that we notice with Katie, sometimes it just comes down to confidence. She's so talented, and I think that she's probably her own worst critic. So I think when she can lift herself up some, we're always there to keep it going. But she took a huge swing on match point, and that's not easy, and not everybody's built for that. But Katie stepped up and went after it, and she wasn't going to be safe. And we preached that before the match, is when you're in a situation to win, you've got to be aggressive, and that's the only way you're going to win big matches. And Katie delivered there.
I also got a chance to talk briefly to Stacy DeFrancesco. I showed her a program that I had from 2011 when she was in a high school tournament that a friend of mine found and gave me. That's the first time I ever saw her play. I think of players like her and Ivy Barsh that we saw in the first match are sort of what you've called several times glue players for you. They're players that could, if kept in the L1, score 20 kills a night. But talk about sort of the sacrifice it takes for a player like Stacy to play more of a ball control role. And then the glitzy sort of numbers take a little bit of a hit, but in terms of importance to team, it's still real high.
Yeah, I mean, she is. You mentioned it. She's the glue for us, and she's. I love that kid so much because she's gone from being this her freshman year. She was a kill away from leading our conference in kills per set, and she had that kind of offensive ability. And then she's had some health issues along the way, and her shoulder's not in great shape. But she's just a beast. She's a warrior, and she's such a competitor that she'll do whatever it takes. And we always still have the conversation. She still wants to be that offensive player. It's always in her blood, but she knows what makes us as a team great. So she's going to do whatever it takes. And a lot of times when Stacy struggles is because she's thinking about her offense, and we get her focused in on what a great blocker she is and what a great defensive player she is, and how she just holds the fort down for us in serve receive, and all those small little things that just go underappreciated. Avi Barsh is the same exact way. So it makes the team go, and it's what's made us go for a good 4 years here now.
Another player that's made you go is Glynna Johnson. Let's see if we can get Glynna over here. I think she's tossing the ball back and forth. Glynna, make your way over here to the Demon backdrop we've got here. We'll switch out. Thanks, Coach, for being willing to sit. Let's get Glynna in here for just a second. Glynna, let me tell you something. Back when you guys were in Nacogdoches and we interviewed Mackenzie Neely there, when you guys had your Starbucks 5-hour hangout or whatever it was, I mentioned to her then that I felt like that you were really an unsung hero for this team. Is that a role that you're sort of comfortable with, just sort of flying under the radar, but still playing as well as you did today?
Yeah, I guess I'll accept it because, I mean, if I'm playing well and we're still winning, then it's fine with me.
Today I talked to Hugh Hernesman just a minute ago about the defense. Y'all's both the blocking and the floor defense was so good today. You know, what is it about Northwestern State volleyball in terms of defense that allows you guys to focus and be able to play as well defensively as you did today?
We just have a really unique system that the coaches brought to us, and we practice hard every day on it, and like we know it can win championships, and so it's one of our strong points, and it definitely works.
As a big blocking presence up front, does it give you some measure of security knowing that you've got girls like Martin and when Stacy's back on the back row and others to dig up stuff? Because today I thought it was very frustrating, not only with there being blocks, but a lot of long rallies in that match. So as a blocker, is there some comfort knowing that back row is back there where even if you're getting a touch, then the ball's probably coming back?
Oh, yeah, definitely, because even if I, like, mess up an assignment, like where I'm supposed to go or don't do the right thing, then I know, like, we're still going to get the dig or we're still going to get it up. And we can still carry on the next point because they're so good back there.
Think back to when you were finishing up club ball and high school ball and being recruited. What was it about this place? What was it about coming here to Northwestern State that sort of tripped a switch for you and said, this is the right place for me to play college volleyball?
I like the coaches, and I love the school. It's so pretty. Like, the campus is really pretty. And I'm also from a small town, so Natchitoches is kind of perfect. And it all just seemed right when I visited. So
you're just from right outside of Waco, am I right? That's where most of my family traces back to just outside of Waco. All right, last question, Glynna. What now, sort of enjoying this win and getting back? This is a rematch now for you guys, and I know I already talked to Mackenzie and Stacy about that's in the back of your head. But what's got to carry over tomorrow? Because now you played good defense against big hitters like Ivy, but tomorrow Schnarr, Singleton, others. What's sort of the focus, or is there a change in terms of what's got to be done to push through this time in advance of the NCAA tourney?
I don't really think we have to change anything from what we've been doing. I mean, we've been playing great the past 2 days. We play aggressive and just play like we can, and like we have been. So I think we'll be fine.
The very last thing, as Katie O'Connell, who's always eating something, you're not eating anything. Each time I saw her this weekend, she's had something like a muffin or a banana. Through the last few years, I've seen your parents here talk just briefly about the influence of both of them. I know they're huge supporters of you and Demon Volleyball. Always have fun seeing them in the stands. But just talk a little bit about their influence all during the years you were playing volleyball and their sort of commitment to be here to support you as you played college.
It's awesome. Like, I'm so lucky to have them here at pretty much every home game and most of the away games because they're in Texas. And they spend a lot of time just here, and they love volleyball. And they've always been like one of my #1 supporters, so it's just awesome to have them here.
All right, there you have it. Glynna Johnson, she'll play for the right to go to the NCAA tourney tomorrow against Central Arkansas. 5 seed and host Northwestern State against 2 seed Central Arkansas. 2 o'clock. Thanks, Glynna.
Thank you.